Here we go. Happy, happy holidays, happy, happy holidays. Backwards, 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 back. Hello, hello. Ho, 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 ho. Blah, 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 blah. I like that so much. I know how I got there. Yeah, that's going to be there with me all the way through because it's lovely. Can't help it. This is Jim, and we're going to do the Christmas memories. And tonight it's back to Straven, back in 1962 and 1963. It was great those days. It was snowing, and I mean, especially 62 and Boxing Day. We were supposed to have my birthday party on 62, and it sludged through the snow and ice to get to my birthday party, and I had a red diary. I can always remember it. And in 1962, I even know what I got for Christmas. You know that? I got a wee diesel, a black diesel, and I've got one that's the exact same. And if you're from Straven, the well-known Tony Giovinazzi used to play Santa Claus on many occasions, 3 occasions I know for definite. Do you remember the British Legion and the Cabin Cafe? Yeah, do you remember that, you Stravonian folks? And, well, in those days, we had this Christmas party in there, and it was just, we'd all do things like Bebop Babbity. I remember my aunt Jean and cousin Patricia and all these people, all our relatives and all. Jeff Stagcliffe, we all went there and that. And Bebop Babbity, I used to hide in the toilet because I didn't like kissing girls for some reason. Well, not so much that, maybe. No, that's a lie. I mean, well, my Aunt Jean anyway. Oh God, it was just like that bit out of Bill and Ted's Alternative, whatever, what is it? Oh, you know the one, well, there's that bit where he has to kiss his gran, it was like that. Bebop Babbity, oh, they should have put the Bebop Babbity in the background. Anyway, I'm just a bit, it was beautiful those days, But I remember that we still went to school, which mine was St Patrick's School. And so the other party was St Patrick's. And Tony Giovinazzi was Santa Claus again. And this is 1962 or 63, but in 1963, it was the last time steam trains were in Straven, by the way, in 1963. I think they might have did freight, I'm not sure, but I've got a feeling it'd be, look up, class 26, it's alright. I'll have to tell you that immediately. Anyway, so they used to have, I can remember they used to have Santa specials. No, they weren't called that. They were called Christmas shopper and specials. There was no Santa special. I don't know why. It was probably because, anyway, it was one of these standard. I've got a photograph of it somewhere. I'm really on my site and everything, my Facebook pages. I've got that, and it's been lovely, those days. Like I say, we went to Lewis's. The presents were not very good, I tell you, pretty bad. I used to get a pencil case. A pencil case. Who remembers getting pencil cases off Santa Claus and Lewis's? Bloody pencil cases. Yellow pencil cases with the zip round them. The zip round them. You remember them when you open them up and all the pencils and that? Or that was for the boys, and it was blue or something like that. The girls' presents, it was pink, and it was a sort of more of a foaming, it was more of a squeezy sort of, with a zip this time. And it had pencils and pens and that, just like the geezers ones, I remember Rolls Royce was the Rolls Royce parties, they were Oh, those were pretty scary. It was entertainment, people singing and dancing, you know, people joining in songs. And we used to sing a little house by a little, and you need arms to rule. Oh, that was the sort of thing you were all singing at the Rolls Royce party in East Kilbride. And you used to get, your presents used to be where your coat was hung, you know. And the presents were the best presents out, you know, without a doubt, of all the parties. It was, so you had, one time I had a dartboard. I kid you not, that was definitely my favourite, because I never stopped using that dartboard until it cracked up, fell apart. I even took that to, right in the 70s, we had a dart team, we even had dart. I don't know if I took it to London, but I think I was too bad for the London Transport dart team. Anyway, we'll just get that. What was that? It's just a memory. You always seem to go in a tantrum, but we can't do that. And that thing we used to love. So I remember in '63 there was a freight train, and I'll never forget it. Me and my sister Marie, my late sister Marie, we used to deliver presents to her. We went up, you know, our relatives and that, you know, and it was so amazing. And I never forget the Christmas Eve. It's never left my head. And I can even tell you the local, I'm like the type of locals, I just never forget this. I was coming down towards Station Road, just crossing the bridge, and all I heard was a sort of whistle and that. But it was only, the diesels were about mostly before, just about that time. And so it's very rare, you know. So it was a Christmas special coming back from Glasgow, I think. And it was the Standard again. And there was a freight train come in, it was sitting there as well, which was a 4F. And I haven't even got a copy of one, a copy. I'd love one of them, so please, if Santa would give me a 4F, oh, that's what I'd be wanting. And so we'd be walking down the road, and then we'd cross the Straven Viaduct all the way up to Stonehouse, cross the bridge, and then away. And we would walk down to round Station Road. Remember the big gasometer things? Do you remember them? You always do that, yeah? Oh, the big gasometer. They were half full, you know, it just depends. It was just the bit at the top, you know, and then it sort of went right down, you know, like that. And then it went to the bottom, and then it went back up again. I don't know how. And I used to get coke from there, and used to get old pram and get all the coke and that from there. There was briquettes as well, I think, in the station yard. I remember the station yard, and there was W.H. Hamilton. And Jim Muldoon used to work for that next door neighbour, whose father was Jimmy Muldoon, owner of Cannes. The Doug saved his life a way back in the war. So we'd be walking around past it. I don't know, you remember, there was old Scout Hall. I don't know, it was like a giant Anderson shelter and corrugated roof and that. And, and in 1969, would you believe the Humble Bums played it? So that's another one. So we crossed the bridge, and anyway, all the way down Kirk Street into the Common Green. I've got that. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send photographs of some of these things that do exist. I've sent the Standard somewhere, but I'll put it in this. Don't worry. I'll repeat it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. So the first one we went to was Mrs. Scott. She lived up across from the park, up that way, and it was my gran after that. one lot of presents, and then it was up to Mrs. Leggett's after that. And then round into my grand's. We used to get ginger wine every time. That was what we got, you know, ginger wine. Do you remember ginger wine? I loved it, and I still love it. Loved it for bits, yeah. Maybe put a wee whiskey in it. I don't know how that would work, but I wouldn't mind trying. So, 63, that was the year of the terrible, terrible, terrible snowstorm. It was a big snowstorm. It came over from the Arctic now, and that was before global warming. I hope that doesn't happen like that again. It'd be lost, mate. I want to hang me, but I can remember we just went to school until the boiler. I can remember the boiler in St. Patrick's under the down. You used to go down these stairs. St. Patrick's had all these stairs to get home and down, and it was always icy. It was always that horrible. Oh, and I used to keep falling and I had short trousers and my knees used to be red, and it was such a very, very sort of good time, although I don't know what it was. They wouldn't do that nowadays, but that funny thing of it all was that I got a pair of long trousers for my Christmas in 63. There you go. And it was the last Christmas I was at St. Patrick's in Straven. That was another great thing. And I can remember everybody was singing in that, you know, everybody was singing. You know, I had to do a wee piece in that, and I did the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand, so there you are. I was a Beatles fan, but I remember in 64 that changed. 64, 65 when the Kinks came along. So, I remember Jim Muldoon next door. I got a bass guitar, and it used to be doom, 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 doom. And there was two ones that he did. The one about Dead End Street. He used to do Dead End Street as well, you know, in his bass guitar. Because that was the one that came out at Christmas, Dead End Street. I love the Kinks still. I'm glad they're still around. So there we are. That's about it. And that. So next time I'll talk about 64. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas. And see you later. Bye.